want to say is that when Ekko comes into the scene, in this epic scene flying through, really shocking, is that even though Jinx was shooting directly at him, on his 2 swipes, he doesn't hit her directly. He knocks her gun out of her hand, and the second thing he does is he gets the bag that's carrying the hex stone. He's not directly trying to hurt her.
Oh, look who it is, the boy savior.
And when Jinx speaks, she's angry, but you can also hear how emotional and hurt she is. Not just by the betrayal she feels that her sister and Caitlin have by abandoning her again, also by her childhood friend that defended them and then attacked her. You can really feel her abandonment come through, and the anger and fury of being left alone, literally having to battle her old friends. When we've formed attachments and we're close with someone as in childhood, there's a lot of emotional content when we see them again. Bonds you form in childhood are completely different than bonds that you form when you're an adult. Because when we're a child, we're vulnerable, we're trying to find our safety. And for Jinx and Ekko, their safety was with each other. And in that little tiny look down, that you can tell it's sad. Ekko is sad, yet resolved. Why do you have to make me do this? He doesn't want to have to face off with his childhood friend. And then in that little tiny chuckle, you can see that Ekko has remembered something from the past, something that is going to make this a little bit better. And then Jinx mimics the exact same movement, that look down of like, can't believe that I'm gonna have to do this. This one has a history, and a history that is based in childhood memories. When we're going back to our childhood, the way that we used to play, we get to know our friends really, really well. And that's what makes both of them facing off with this so interesting and poignant at the same time. Though they're battling and one of them could be seriously injured or killed, they're both following the rules of this game that they used to play without even saying a word. It's a sign of respect and an homage to their childhood play. I think that for Ekko, the reason that he's doing this is because he doesn't want to have to fight his friend, but if he can make it kind of sweet, something that calls back to the childhood. One is, maybe he'll be able to reach Jinx, and 2, maybe this will make this very painful experience of having to face off with someone that meant the world to you be a little less painful. It also makes them think back to a happier time in their childhood where they could enjoy and laugh, be able to have each other even though the world was crumbling around them. And so here they are on this bridge, again, with the world crumbling around them and trying to grab some of those pieces of happy childhood memories together, even though this time it's bittersweet. Even things that we do in childhood that are play, we're already getting ready to mimic behaviors that we may have to do as well as we become older. That's why they train children really young to become child soldiers, because they mimic so effectively. They can become very hardened and not really think about what they're doing because they've been doing it for so long before they've actually created a sense of consequences for actions, which only finishes developing when you're 24 years old. We usually do the same behaviors, especially when we're stressed. When we're stressed, our thinking part of the brain kind of turns off, and we go back to what is muscle memory. So whatever we've done enough times, odds are we are going to keep on doing it. And when you know someone that well, when you've known them from childhood, you probably know what they're gonna do even before they do, especially when they're very stressed or angry. And you can see all of the hurt and rage that comes out of us when we're in these horrible, stressful situations, having to do something that we don't want to. You can see that he's angry. He's angry at Jinx for putting him in this position where he feels like he has to fight her. And then you can see that Jinx's armor is all gone. No longer is it this strong, tough woman that is here to fight and is battle-hardened and ready. She's that child again, and she's in pain. She's let down her guard. She is defeated. And you might say, well, is this her faking it? One is, Jinx is not good at faking emotions. She wears everything that she feels on her sleeve. She shows her emotions. She's not great at playing it. Even when she tries to act tough, little bits of her feelings come through. And then you see for Ekko, the realization of him fighting his friend, the friend that he can now see in her again, and the brutality of having to fight. We look at war and battles and we see it, and it's fun and it's cool and there's blood splatter, but the reality of that is heartbreaking, and you're hurting someone, and for him, he's hurting his childhood friend, and that softens him. If she's going down, she's gonna take everyone down with her, because she's now lost the one person that she still held hope in, which is Vi. And then to have her childhood friend also fight her and not be on her side, I think that for Jinx, that was just too much. The loss, Vi, and Ekko. And sometimes for us, especially if we have strong abandonment issues, it is such an emotional turmoil, such a painful feeling that we don't want to feel it anymore. And I think that for Jinx, that's why, even though Ekko was gonna stop, you could tell that he had softened and he had changed his idea of what he was gonna do. Acceptance of defeat, that being weak, that being vulnerable, that going back to the place of remembering her childhood that is gone and lost and she can't reclaim. It's easier for her to just say, I'm just going to scorch everything. And I think that we've all been in that place where things are just so bad, we're so upset that we're like, you know what, just get rid of all of it. Let's change things. She was missing out on that feeling of hope. And perhaps also she didn't want to feel helpless and defeated. She's done everything she can in her power to not be that little girl that always made mistakes, that was abandoned. And in that moment of losing this fight with her childhood friend was a little bit too much for her to handle. If you want to find out a little bit more about Jinx, or Vi and Jinx, or Silco, you can check out my videos, all ad-free, sponsor-free, on Nebula. And you can also take a look at Apple Talk, where we have extra segments only on Nebula, where we deal with eating hot chili peppers or hot wings. And it's not just my videos, but Nando V Movies, Midlife Crisis, Renee Ritchie, MKBHD, Cinema Wins, and so many more. All ad-free, sponsor-free on Nebula. Bundled in for free when you sign up at today's sponsor, curiositystream.com/Georgia Dow, or click on the link below. And right now, because you watch this channel, you can get CuriosityStream for 42% off. That is less than $12 a year, less than the price of a pizza for a whole year, and that includes thousands of amazing documentaries and series, like Nature's Weirdest, where you get to decide, what is nature's weirdest animal? Is it the sloth? Is it the rockfish? You get to pick. You'll be supporting educational creators directly for 42% off CuriosityStream. Less than $12 a year, and you get Nebula bundled in for free. Free! Just click on the link below. curiositystream.com/Georgia Dow. And by clicking on the link below, you really do a lot to help support this channel. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe, and there'll be plenty more Arcane videos to come.